Hi there, this is Clovis from KinematicLAB. This is a little tool I had in my folders for a long time. I did it 4 years ago, so it's time to give it away now. So that's an implementation of some strange attractors equations. You should Google it to have a look, and you have access to 29 of them here, but there are many more. So if there is one that you want me to add, just let me know. So once installed, you can find it in the shapes here, in the KinematicLAB category, and you can create it in the scene. So first you can notice that you have access to all the usual rendering and interpolations parameters. And in the parameters here, you have a list of all the attractors I added in this tool. So that's 29 of them. So the first one is the Lorentz. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Sorry for the mathematicians behind it. There are too many weird names there. And what are these parameters? The knot count is the number of knots of the spline, and it is also the number of iterations of the equation. So if I put it to 0, nothing happens, but I can increase this number and you can see what is happening. You see, so that's one spline, only one, doing this trajectory. Okay, now you have the steps value. The steps value, it's the distance between each knot. Okay, so when I change it, you see something is happening. It's going faster into the equation. Okay, so you will have to play with this. And then you have a set of values with no specific names. I name them A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. Just because they are pretty obscure and it will not really help you in any way knowing what they really are. Okay, you just have to know that they are the input values of each equation, and they define the resulting shape as well as the steps and the knot counts. So depending on the chosen attractor, you can have more or less input values. So if I pick another one, you see I have more values here. Just 2 there. So just 1 here. It really depends on the equation you choose. Okay. And each time you choose a different attractor from the list, all these values are resetted to acceptable values for this equation. And you also have this reset button to reset them. So if I change some values, okay, here I can still reset them to the default ones. So because of the nature of these equations, these values can drastically change the shape. So you have to be very, very subtle with the changes. So I suggest that you press the Alt key on your keyboard while you modify the values to be very subtle with them and change very slowly these values, okay, to these decimals. Because if you go too fast, you know, sometimes it's going to be okay, but it can make some strange results. Okay, for this one it's pretty okay, but some of them can sort of break, okay, because they go outside of the range of the equation, I guess. But that's very hard to predict because this is really weird strange math to me. So go slowly with these values. And now, because that's a parametric spline, you can animate all these values. So you can animate the number of knot count, for example, to animate the growth of this shape. Okay. So this is animated. You can animate the steps, sorry, and all these values as well. Okay. But however, again, the nature of these equations make them very hard to predict. So as you see, when I'm changing values here, this strange stuff can happen. So be careful, because this also will happen during animation. Okay, so you can animate this. It's just up to you, but just know that this happens. Okay, so let's delete some keys. So let's use this one, for example. So now the nice thing is that there are splines. Okay, so you can use them to render as geometries, so you can see them. Let's go, let's be careful here. Okay, you can render them like that, so it can be quite fun. That's what I did on the examples. Or you can use them as path deform. So let's create a little which one? The capsule, maybe. A capsule like that. Okay, maybe a taper. Okay, something like that is nice. Fine. And then you can add this curve in the path deform modifier. This one, sorry. Okay. Yeah, here it is. So you can use this path deform and animate, okay, a cylinder along this shape, which can make pretty nice animations. Okay. Something like that. I'll stretch it along the shape itself. Pretty nice, isn't it? So you can do that. You can also, of course, use it as a path constraint. So you can have an object moving along this. You can use it to drive particles, etc., etc. So that's it. I hope you're going to have fun with this. And just let me know if you need more equations in the list, because I know there are more of them. Okay. See you. Cheers.